All right, time to get a little more concrete. It's about 40, mid 40s today, 42, 43, so it's a little cold for concrete, but it's got to get done, and it's not going to get any nicer, so we're just going to do it now. It'll take longer to cure, but it'll still cure. And I don't have any scientific formula here. I just add water until it looks like it'll be enough, or just less than enough. And then I'll get it with the hoe and rake it out. And then if I need more, I add more. A good thing in our favor is that we're laying this concrete inside of a building. So even though outside is in the 40s, it's probably closer to the high 40s inside of here. We're out of the wind, we're out of the weather. We're going for a consistency here where all the water is soaked up by the material, so we know we got a good mix. Otherwise, the adhesives aren't going to activate. You don't want any dry powder in there. Although over time it may soak it up, I would rather be sure right up front. I've got some leaves blowing around because of the wind, so I'm going to get rid of those before I pour. This vacuum is awesome. It's called the Beast. It's the Vac Master. And we got this last year. It's fantastic because you can attach to the back end, turn it into a blower, and as long as you've got the thin nozzle on there, it has a pretty good blower. And of course, on the front, 14 gallons, 6.5 horsepower, peak. And it's got a drain down here, so you can do wet, dry, and the whole bit with it. I'll put a link down in the description for that in case anybody's interested looking for a decent vacuum. So let's get ready to pour some concrete. All right. Here we go. I poured the initial run of concrete a couple of weeks ago. It was obviously nicer out. I added some rebar in there, and so that should hold it together a little better. I used 6 60-pound bags of concrete in this little area. That is about 8 inches deep. It's 6 to 8 inches deep, depending on where you are in this. And I'm just, again, trying to make a base for our cinder blocks to lay on. I didn't use any concrete forms on this, again, because it's a chicken coop, and I thought it would just be a waste of time and effort to build forms. I'm just using the ground, the earth around it as the form to hold it into where I want it, and level it out. Yep, I'm tamping it to get out any bubbles, and it also kind of levels it in place. We're using gravity as our friend here to get this in some kind of a level along the top. It's not something important enough to use any screed tools, because again, we're just going to put some mortar and a couple of cinder blocks on top of it. CJ. Okay. All right, I want to get this packed in up to the wall, nice and straight, as well as pack it around that rebar. Make sure there's no bubbles inside that will affect the structural integrity. Make sure it's leveled and even across here, so I don't have any bumps to deal with later on. And again, when we put the cinder blocks on top, I'm going to use mortar to hold those cinder blocks down. I had thought about using some more rebar, but that's a lot of extra effort when I can just put down mortar and leave them connected with that. And there we go. I am kind of happy with the results of that. Glad to have another project moving along. All right, and I'm done pouring concrete for today. Thanks for watching. I will report back when I get a little more work done in this chicken coop.